on that porch. Meaning that like maybe a small planter or a statue or a small water fountain. Those objects definitely can serve as a concealment for the package. If available, definitely recommend installing a lockbox either at the porch or affix it to the house where they can be secured at that time.
And at this time, the Indio Police Department is looking into the individual seen in this video. See something, say something. That's the message Indio PD is pushing when it comes to situations like these. Live in studio, I'm Tiani Jadaling, NBC Palm Springs.
Tiani, thank you. We have a live look outside. Look at this gorgeous sunset from our Agua Caliente casino camera in Rancho Mirage. If you grab some pictures of that sunset tonight, make sure you send them in. news@nbcpalmsprings.com. We're inching a little closer to the weekend. For more on our 3-day forecast, let's check in with Kai Beach.
Well, happy Friday, everyone. What a way to end the work week when it comes to weather. And this weekend, well, it's going to be even better. Cooler than average conditions, but we will see some pretty strong winds across the desert. As for the highs today, here on the valley floor, we're looking at low 90s, 93 in Indio, Palm Springs 90, up the hill Joshua Tree 78, Big Bear City, that looks nice at 60 degrees, and Idlewild about 45 to an hour away, 65 degrees. Those winds we're talking about, take a look at Friday. Today, gusts nearly 40 miles an hour near Whitewater and Desert Hot Springs. They do start to calm down as we head into the weekend, but be careful if you're driving on I-10. Low temps for tonight, Big Bear City 36 degrees, Palm Springs 69, Indio 70, and our friends in 29 Palms, thank you very much for your service. We're looking at low 60s up there. For Saturday, temperatures bump up just a bit. We're looking at 93 degrees here on the valley floor. Up in Joshua Tree, we're looking at 80, Big Bear City 61, and in Cabazon, bargain shopping at 83 degrees. For tomorrow's morning walk forecast, go out and enjoy it. 6 o'clock, 64 degrees. 8 o'clock, just under 70, and by noon, we're in the mid-80s. What a great day to be here in the desert. 3-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. We look at low 90s for the highs over the next few days, and those overnight lows stay pretty consistent, low to high 60s. I'll have a full forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, our thanks to Kai Beach for that. City of Palm Desert hosting its 2025 State of the City over at the JW Marriott Resort and Spa this afternoon. The event featured the city's achievements and future plans. City leaders shared key updates on Measure G funding, including improvements to public safety with a new fire station and additional sheriff's deputies, plus exciting progress on a new park in the city's north end. Of course, there was a panel that was held today. As you could see, our Thalia Hayden moderated that panel, which was a great discussion. I was there with Tim O'Brien and our news director as well. But the big headline out there today, construction underway on Desert Surf. It's a massive 18-acre development that's going right next to Desert Willow Golf Resort.
A heated debate continues to grow over Prop 50. It's the only statewide measure that will appear on the special election ballot on November 4th.
It's one that could reshape California's congressional districts for the next 3 election cycles. Under Proposition 50, the state legislature would draw its own map for U.S. House seats from 2026 to 2030, which could add several congressional seats in favor of Democrats. Governor Gavin Newsom has continuously backed the measure, along with local supporters, including Democrats of the desert, who will rally in favor of Prop 50 tomorrow morning outside of La Quinta City Hall.
We would certainly see some changes in some legislative districts, the opportunity to turn some of those districts blue and make sure that we have better representation. This is in response to what we saw President Trump request of or demand of Texas legislators who actually changed their boundaries without any public input at all.
Now, on the other hand, opponents of the measure believe it could undermine nonpartisanship. We spoke with the chairwoman of the California Republican Party about their stance on this controversial measure.
I don't for 1 minute believe that this is a response to Texas. I believe that this is their 3rd attempt to try to remove Californians' right to an independent redistricting commission. Californians have told the legislator, they've told the career politicians twice that this is what they want, and I'd urge everyone to vote no for the 3rd time and send a strong message to Sacramento that we vote no. 3 strikes, you're out, we're keeping our independence.
The last day to register for the special election is October 20th. County election offices will be mailing ballots by Monday, October 6th. The special election takes place November 4th.
New at 6 o'clock tonight, if you're looking for a spooky event to attend this weekend, Cirque Italia is presenting Paranormal Cirque 2. It's a brand new show for a mature audience, combining theater, circus, and cabaret with a European flair. It all starts tonight. It runs through October 6th at Indio Grand Marketplace. It features artists with hidden talents from all over the world, and we spoke with some of these extremely talented performers.
This is a typical circus. It's amazing. We have a theater, aerials, circus, a clown, but everything is different than a normal circus, you know? It's an amazing show.
We want our audiences to come and forget all their troubles, forget all the craziness that's going on in the world for a couple hours. Come see some fake horror instead of the real horror that's happening out there.
For more information on the event and showtimes, you can visit paranormalcirque.com.
All right, coming up next tonight, we hear more from representatives of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the Desert about their journey to help individuals in need. That's ahead.
Plus, it's that time of the week again. Friday Night Lights here in the Coachella Valley. We're live from that and Acrisure Arena for the Lakers preseason game. That's still ahead in sports.
First tonight, we have a look at your gold and silver prices. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6 o'clock on this Friday evening. And we're back right after this.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the Desert is a youth empowerment organization offering one-on-one mentorship.
Our Thalia Hayden is in studio with more on how you can support the nonprofit's mission.
Have you ever considered being a mentor? Big brother, big sister of the desert is always looking for volunteers to match with children who can use some extra support. So joining me now are two volunteers. We have Berlinda and Patrick Blackburn. Welcome.
Thank you.
So glad to have you, yes, and excited to know why you wanted to be involved in Big Brothers Big Sisters.
It's an opportunity to give back and to help mature young people, and you also learn. It's a give and take opportunity to connect with the community, to engage with a young child, and make a difference.
And tell us about how your journey started. I know it started with you, Berlinda.
Yes, I was originally matched. I don't know how I found the opportunity, but I was matched with a little girl in Coachella, and I was working for the city of Coachella at the time. So the vicinity worked, everything worked, and, you know, we were being awesome, and then she goes, I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, no!
And I was like, I'm broken. I got fired as a volunteer.
This was your first match?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, you know, I took like 6 months off. I'm like, Judy, I'm ready to get back in. Do you have anyone that's looking for, you know, a match? And hadn't heard anything. And then we had this interview, and Mom was really nervous. And I'm like, I'm nervous too, but I promise this will be good. And about a month later, I get the call that the match is approved. And from there, it's just been awesome.
And that was 7 years ago.
Yes.
And so then you brought your husband on board.
Well, Farah has a brother, Jacob, and I'm thinking, you're a coach. He's a good kid. He needs a big. So get in there.
And how has it been, Patrick?
Well, just for me, with 42 years in the teaching and coaching profession and retired, she brought it up, and I just thought, you know, it'd be a great way to get back involved with youth. So it's been awesome. He's a great kid. He's a big kid. He's almost 6'4" now.
Wow.
And 220 pounds. Plays football for Xavier Prep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And
so, you know, I'm just giving him to quote an organization I've been part of for 32 years, my experience, strength, and hope. You know, and what worked for me, instead of preaching to him.
Well, we certainly wish your littles lots of luck, and we thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us.
All right, our thanks to Thalia for that. A quick live look, our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Your full forecast is right after this break.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching
Giving you a live look tonight from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera there in Rancho Mirage. Gorgeous evening as the sunset is now past us. You can see the blue and pink skies right there. For the latest on our weekend forecast, we're going to send things over to Kai Beach.
It is Friday and we are ready for the weekend. We're going to experience cooler than average conditions. We will see some strong winds. Over the past few days, we saw gusts up to nearly 30 miles an hour. Today, we could see gusts up to nearly 40 miles an hour in Whitewater and Desert Hot Springs. So if you're driving on I-10, please be careful. For the high temps today, take a look at the valley floor. We're looking at low 90s, Palm Springs and in Indio. Up the hill, Joshua Tree 78, Cabazon 79, and in Big Bear City 60 degrees. For the low temps tonight, Big Bear City just above freezing, 36 degrees. Idlewild getting cozy too at 51. Perfect weather here on the valley floor. Palm Springs 69, Thousand Palms we're looking at 70 degrees. High temps for today. Across the country, a lot of people returning to the desert, or they will be pretty soon. This is the weather they're leaving behind. Denver 83, Dallas 93, Atlanta, Georgia, the city too busy to hate 76, and our friends in the Bay, we're looking at mid 60s. For tomorrow, it's going to be warm, nothing we can't handle. You head to the coast, we're going to look at mid 70s and the surf out there 2 to 3 feet. Go out there and enjoy it. Evening walk tonight, 6 o'clock, pretty nice, 86 degrees. By 8, we're at low 80s. By 10, mid 70s, and at midnight, low 70s. 7-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Friday, 90 degrees. Those temperatures rise just a bit on Saturday, then a slight cooling trend to end the weekend. Those overnight lows, taking a look at low to high 60s.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest broadcasts, digital exclusive content, contests, and more. Go to NBC Palm Springs. NBC NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
Some fun in the Valley tonight. The Los Angeles Lakers back in town for their tradition of a little preseason action, taking on the Suns. And our Caitlin Kelly is live out there tonight. She was courtside for us at 5 o'clock. We'll have her latest report right now. Hey, Caitlin.
Hey, Olivia, that's right. A lot louder than our 5 o'clock broadcast. The fans have filed in. The place is going nuts. And it's not just because a lot of these Lakers have already hit the court to warm up, but there are some serious legends inside this building tonight. Michael Thompson, Laker legend. He was a teammate with Magic Johnson and company. And I also saw Big Shot Robert Horry. Anybody who's a Laker fans in the late 90s, early 2000s, everybody in here is freaking out, myself included. But of course, we've also got the guys on the court that people are super excited to see tonight. Austin Reeves, the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, is one of them. And while the fans are really excited to see him, he's also really excited to see those fans. We had a chance to speak with him earlier this week, and he told us how much he loves coming to the desert.
The atmosphere, the fans have been great. The energy in the building's been really good. And it's just, like you said, it's fun to be able to go to places where, fans might not be able to make it to, all the way up to here to watch a game, just to be able to reach more Lakers fans, because we got them all around the world. Appreciate y'all for all y'all's support. Come out and keep the energy high as always, as it has been. The last couple of times that we've been there, it's been a lot of fun to see the fans and how much how engaged they are and how much that they love us and the Lakers. So just thanks for all y'all's support.
He gets a ton of support here. Now, quickly, the Los Angeles Lakers will be without LeBron James, will be without Luka Doncic, and will be without Marcus Smart on the floor. However, they are in the building, just adding to the star power. So tonight, we're going to have a full recap of this incredible game, this highly anticipated matchup. So until then, I'm Caitlin Kelly live at Acrisure Arena. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Caitlin, thank you so much for that. We have some news regarding Sean Diddy Combs. He was sentenced today to 50 months in prison. It came after the jury acquitted him of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges. We were told that he could face up to 20 years in prison for 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. However, the decision came down today from the judge. He will spend 50 months behind bars. We'll be right back.
Actually, we're going to head out to our Tim O'Brien now, who has more. We have Friday Night Lights action happening, and he is live with the latest, especially on the DEL action. Tim, tell us more about the big matchup tonight.
Yeah, the first night of the DEL play here. We're at La Quinta. It's Palm Springs Indians and the La Quinta Blackhawks. It's going to be arguably not only the game of the week, maybe the game of the year. The Palm Springs Indians 5-0 against the La Quinta Blackhawks 4-1. 2 teams that had very different outlooks at the beginning of the season. Palm Springs, you knew you could probably get into the top 3 and make the playoffs. And then you had La Quinta, who had a brand new offensive line, really an unspoken offense for, other than Roman Ansley at quarterback. You lose Simon Simonian is the running back. You lose, of course, Madden Ruberg to an ACL injury over the summer. So you didn't know what you were going to get out of the offense. You knew the defense would be good for the Blackhawks, of course, with Major Hinchin, the Utah commit. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And then, of course, the Battle of Cook Street, who will become the Kings of Cook Street this year. Palm Desert winning that in shutout fashion last year, sitting at 3-2 tonight. But Xavier Prep, the Saints are 4-1. Quarterback King Pelham has taken really good strides in the next step to continue growing on what he started as early as a freshman. So a lot of good football action. We can't forget about the other DEL matchup, Rancho Mirage and Shadow Hills. So I'll make my predictions before we do a recap tonight at 11. Give me Rancho Mirage over Shadow rather easily. I'll take the Palm Springs Indians here on the road against La Quinta, and then I'm going to take Palm Desert against Xavier Prep. But only time will tell what will happen in the 3 DEL matchups tonight. We'll have a full recap coming up on NBC Palm Springs at 11. Live in La Quinta, I'm Tim O'Brien. Send it back to you guys in studio.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, palmsprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
Guess who's coming to town? Blink 182 this week at Acrisure Arena for their Missionary Impossible Tour. We have the Blink 182 bunny here who will be out in front, hello, greeting people as they come to see the show. Saturday, Sunday, tomorrow, Sunday, Blink 182 at Acrisure Arena. You can take pictures and post your selfies with the bunny, win the front there. So you still have time to get tickets. Just go to @Acrisure Arena, and you can learn all about how to get your tickets for the show. See you on Sunday.
It sounds like fun, and you know that's just part of the Magnificent Seven that they have here. So they'll have Maroon 5 performing on October 8th, and then the Firebirds kick off their action October 10th.
That's 1 week from tonight.
I know.
We'll be live at
It'll be
Acrisure Arena. Can't wait for that. All right, that's going to do it for us. We're back here for the news at 11, so please join us for that. Meantime, we'll send things over to Fred Rogan.
The best of the Rogan Report.
Tonight on the Best of the Rogan Report. From the Skynet is Real department, AI is blackmailing people who try to turn it off. Fred talks to Rancho Mirage Councilmember Steve Downs about the reduction of crime in that city. And Assemblyman Jeff Gonzalez talks his first year in office. That and more on this, the Best of the Rogan Report.
No matter where you go or what you do, you cannot escape AI. You can resist, but your efforts will be futile. It'll become increasingly a larger part of our everyday lives. One thing, does AI have a mind of its own?
From the world of AI.
So listen to this. According to Palisades Research, OpenAI 03 sabotaged the shutdown mechanism to prevent itself from being turned off even after being told to shut down. Not only that, something called Claude 4 would attempt to blackmail people it believes are trying to shut it down. If that's not scary enough, news sites are cutting staff due to chatbots replacing Google searches, reducing traffic to news sites like Huffington Post and Washington Post. Yes, the AI Armageddon is here for online news publishers. You no longer have to click on that little blue link, and that has caused traffic to news sites to plummet by 50%. Why read the whole article or even go to the web page when AI can just summarize it for you with a link? Our contributors tonight are Stephanie Miner and Tammy Black. Okay, Tammy, first things first. Have you ever been blackmailed by AI?
No, I'm sure it's a matter of time. I'm hoping not to ever have to be able to answer that question with a yes. It's a scary business for me. What do you think, Steph?
I have never been blackmailed by AI, and I hope to God that I never will be. Can you imagine how scary that would be, especially because it makes up things to blackmail you about? So, no.
Do you guys use AI on a daily basis when you're online? Do you ask ChatGPT questions, name your ChatGPT? Is that common practice for you, Stephanie?
Yes, it definitely is. I use it to help me outline my thoughts. I will use it to help me answer questions, just silly questions. I never use it and don't edit what I get from it, but it is a useful tool.
How about you, Tammy?
I do use it. I do use it in writing. That's about it, but I have found it useful. I always thought I was a brilliant writer, and somehow it always comes out a little bit better with ChatGPT.
Should we be worried about AI not shutting down when it's told to shut down, Tammy?
Oh, yes. I mean, how many out there have not seen the footage of the robot that went crazy, that was tethered? And this kind of information, I mean, it's non-killable, which means you can't turn it down or shut it off. And I mean, the word advanced reasoning with AI, that's stuff to be scared about.
Hey, Stephanie, 15 seconds. What can online news services do to adapt in this world? Any ideas?
I think that they need to let the public know about AI and let them know what's true in AI and what is not. And then as far as losing viewers, I don't know what to do except play the game, talk about it, and just adapt as much as you can.
All right, good point. Riding bikes in the Valley is the gift that just keeps on giving us. I've made it clear I think bike riders deserve to ride their bikes. They pay taxes just like everyone else, and also they deserve to be safe. But not following the rules that the roads are constructed for make everyone unsafe. So yesterday we showed you a little video. Take a look. This is dangerous for everyone. Now watch. Everybody stops. There's the police car. It goes by, and now let's see what happens. Nobody really stops. Right through the stop sign. Again, it seems like it's happening with more and more bike riders. Yeah, this subject never disappoints in the Valley. Stephen let us know that because cyclists have a better field of vision, they can see farther ahead, and so if it was clear, they just don't stop at stop signs. We aren't driving several tons of metal that can kill someone. Stephen, here's the problem. Someone else may be driving those several tons of metal coming this way when you're going that way. Jim in Lakita wanted to let us know he enjoys the show, but wants to know what our beef with bicyclists is, and that there are rules for drivers, cyclists, dog owners, etc. Perhaps you can investigate the circumstances surrounding bicyclists who are injured or worse and determine who really was at fault and not following the rules. He also said he didn't see anything wrong with what cyclists did, and he often doesn't stop at a stop sign. Here's the thing. Jim, you talked about the rules. If everybody followed the rules, there would be fewer accidents. And one of the rules for driving cars and those riding bikes is to stop at all stop signs, not just the ones you feel like stopping at. Finally, David had a question. I'm just curious, what is the fine for those biker rider blasting past stop signs? Do they get points on their licenses and higher insurance rates? Okay, our friends in Indio let us know that when caught blowing through a stop sign, cyclists are fined about $238. They're not required to have licenses, so no points and no effect on their insurance. I think David knew that and was making the point that when cyclists decide not to follow the rules, they are not punished the same as those driving cars. Killer whale approached you in the wild. Maybe you would pray. It sounds scary, but you know it's been happening, and not for the reasons you might think. Turns out killer whales might have a soft side. Wild orcas have been deliberately offering fish, seaweed, even turtles to people in boats, in the water and on shore. 34 recorded events in spots from California to Norway over the past 2 decades. They're not accidental drops. The whales approach, present their catch, and wait for a reaction. Sometimes offering again if humans don't respond the first time. It's the same food-sharing behavior they use with their pod, only now extended to humans. It hints at curiosity or early interspecies friendship. Scientists are captivated. Orcas are showing smarts and social complexity that break the mold of predator versus prey. The motives are still mysterious. Friendship, testing boundaries, cultural play, one thing's clear. These whales aren't just hunting, they're reaching out. Okay, here we go, Nick. A 5-ton orca swims over to you to give you a fish. Would you take it or get out of there fast?
You know, I think you nailed it on the head here. I don't swim with those whales. They're going to have a motive. Don't think they're just doing this for curiosity. They may either want a really long, extended belly rub, or they might want something else, and we don't even know. We got to be cautious. Chauncey, you got to back me up here.
I think we're forgetting the key word to that, killer whale. I think we've all seen enough of the SeaWorld videos of those unfortunate folks that were dragged into the water. They may be friendly right now, but these are 34 encounters over 20 years. So I'm going to go with the other side of it and think about all the other encounters we haven't counted where people aren't alive to tell their story.
Okay, but after hearing this story, in the least little bit, does it change the way you see wild animals as curious individuals rather than instinct-driven monsters, Chauncey?
Well, you know they're curious. I mean, if you've done enough whale watching tours, they'll come up to the boat. But I'm not sure if I want to be in the water with them while they're bringing up the dead bird or the fish coming out of their mouth for me to grab and throw back and play catch with. Nick?
I think this is terrible that they got named murder fish. Killer whale, I mean, that's a little excessive. They don't have a benefit of the doubt there. I would say someone's got to start taking the fish. We got to see what they want. They're going to negotiate. They may want something big. They may want a boat. We got to do something and take the fish.
They may be practicing the art of the deal, Nick.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
All right, guys, thanks for that. I want to warn you about something explosive. It's shocking. It just doesn't pass the smell test. Something that can actually change the atmosphere around you.
Well, more bodily functions in the news this morning. The next time you pass gas, make sure no police are around. A man in West Virginia faces assault charges after police say he passed gas and handed the officer. I mean, don't laugh. After the man was already arrested for DUI, according to police report of St. Cruz. I can't even get through this.
He passed the gas so loudly, the officer said it was, quote, very odorous and created contact of an insulting or provoking nature. Mr. Anchorman. See, that wasn't even right. To put that story in there was wrong. That was wrong, man.
I didn't see it when I was looking through the script. He stuck that in there.
Very odorous. There you go.
So if you are pulled over, control yourself. Because if you go to jail for that reason, that simply is a smell you cannot wash off.
This show is for everyone, especially people that don't watch it.
Does that make sense? Please make sense of the show.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
When we return, Rancho Mirage has something to be really proud of. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Desert Cancer Foundation is a local 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to helping pay for cancer care for local residents who need financial assistance. On October 11th, join them for Paint El Paseo Pink. It's more than just a walk. It's a movement that supports Desert Cancer Foundation uniting the Coachella Valley in the fight against cancer. On October 11th, join them for Paint El Paseo Pink. It's more than just a walk. It's a movement that supports Desert Cancer Foundation uniting the Coachella Valley in the fight against cancer. To everyone at Desert Cancer Foundation and everyone who will help paint El Paseo pink, you are our heroes of the week.
There's been some talk about crime in Rancho Mirage, specifically property crime. Councilman Steve Downs says they're on it. In past years, it was typical for the property crime rate in Rancho Mirage to be slightly higher than the average for the Coachella Valley. Now it's down a remarkable 39% from the first quarter of last year to this year. Councilman Downs joins us now. Steve, welcome to the program tonight.
Thank you, Fred. Nice to be with you.
All right, let's talk about the post I saw on Facebook about crime in Rancho Mirage. Is that concerning?
Sure. No, not any longer. It was marginally concerning at one time a few years ago. There was a time, I want to say it's now 3, 4, 5 years ago, maybe, that the rate of property crime in Rancho Mirage was marginally higher than that for the Coachella Valley. But we took some steps to correct that. And the reason that our property crime rate was a little higher than average, I think, is fairly obvious if you think about a few things. One is that median household income in Rancho Mirage is higher than average for the valley, about 50% higher. Median home values are also higher, some 30% higher. And Rancho Mirage is a great place to live, so there are a lot of second homes in our city. So what we have are a lot of expensive homes filled with expensive things that sit unoccupied for long stretches of time. And what that also means is for those reasons, for burglars, we're kind of a target-rich environment. But we took some steps to fix that.
And what were the steps?
That's what you want to know about.
What were the steps you took?
So, if you have these issues, I think that the logical things to do are first, to make sure that you have as many deputies in the field as the budget will allow, and then to provide them with the tools that they need to get the job done. And so we did that. We took those steps over the last several years. So today, the rate of deputies per 1,000 residents in the city of Rancho Mirage is a little over 2 per 1,000. The average rate for the county of Riverside is 1.15 deputies per 1,000. So we significantly increased the number of law enforcement officers in the field. And then secondly, we gave them what they told us was one of the most important tools that they need to get their job done, a thing called automated license plate readers, ALPRs. And that's all they do. They read license plates, but they can quickly identify vehicles that were used in property crime. And vehicles, automobiles or light trucks, are used in property crime far more than 50% of the time. So we gave them those tools, and the crime rate has dropped significantly in recent years.
That's fascinating. Was there a period of time, because I know you used the sheriffs, and did Rancho Mirage ever have its own police force? I can't remember.
It did a good many years ago, yes. And then we switched to a law enforcement contract with the Riverside County Sheriff's Department.
And you get as many deputies basically as you can afford?
As we can put into the budget. We've raised the number of deputies per 1,000 periodically over the years. But as I say, recently, I guess it was a couple of years ago now, we did increase the count to about 2 per 1,000, which is pretty significant.
All right. So what you're telling me is all is good in Rancho Mirage?
All is good in Rancho Mirage today, yes.
Steve, it's a pleasure. Thanks for joining the show tonight.
Fred, thanks. Nice to be with you. Good to see you.
After the break, it's been a first year of ups and downs for Assemblyman Jeff Gonzalez.
Assemblyman, welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Okay, we're 1 year in. What grade do you give yourself?
You know, I'll give myself a B, a solid B, because there's always room for work. There's always room for work. I think we went out there, you know, we campaigned on transparency. We campaigned on affordability, and we campaigned on increased communication. And I think we brought that to the table.
Okay, so you get a B for that. You think there's room for improvement there, but you have done that.
And by the way, there'll always be room for an improvement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but you've done that.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the highlights, things that you thought went really well in year one?
Look, I've told you this before. My son has cerebral palsy, spastic quadriplegia, can't walk, can't use his hands, is nonverbal. We said we were going to Sacramento to make sure that he had a voice. When we found out that Governor Newsom was cutting $700 million from in-home supportive services, I said, this is why I'm here. This is why we're fighting. And by the way, everyone was speaking out, but no one was listening. So I went to the Capitol steps. We held a press conference, and we fought, and we won. $700 million back into the hands of Californians versus in the hands of consultants inside of Sacramento. So that was the biggest win, I think, for us. The other piece was we did over 140 bipartisan bills, co-authored bills. So that means we worked across the aisle. We found things that we can agree on, and we said, this is good for California. 140 times we did that. We also looked at veterans and military issues. So the Speaker, a Democrat, asked me to be the vice chair. He appointed me as vice chair of Military and Veterans Affairs, and he appointed me to be vice chair of Water, Parks, and Wildlife. So that's just a few of the victories that we had. But I would think one of the great victories is people in the district needed help with some of their services, EDD, DMV. They needed money back into their hands. We brought over $500,000 back into the hands of constituents through our constituent services. And my team, they're a bunch of rock stars. They really are. And they were able to do their job at what I call championship level.
Okay, so that's good. A lot of good in this first year. What didn't go your way?
You know, we campaigned on accountability and clarity and making sure we hold people accountable. We went through CVSD, right? The teachers and the community were asking for that. So we brought CVUSD to the Capitol. We brought them there, and we presented our facts to the Joint Legislative Audit Committee, and it was supposed to go through, and an audit was supposed to take place, Fred. But because of Senator Steve Padilla and his back deals happening in Sacramento, he cut that off. But let me tell you something. I don't want people to feel like we didn't accomplish anything. What we did was we brought that out in the open, but unfortunately, Steve Padilla put up a whole bunch of walls. They're talking right now about a audit, but it's not an audit, it's a review.
I heard that, yeah.
It is a review. No, everybody knows it's a review. It is not a forensic audit, and that's what people are asking for. They're asking for an audit.
All right, so now we begin year two. What's on the agenda?
Year two. Here's what we're doing in this next 3.5 months. We're meeting with every single city council across the entire 36th district. The 36th district is larger than the size of New Hampshire. So we're going to go to every single city, and we're going to say, what are your legislative asks, and what other things you want us to ask for? Because our job is to advocate for the community, because we have a 20% unemployment rate in the district, and we can't have that. So I'm going to fight for that, and I'm going to fight for it through legislation, through budget requests, and through using my microphone.
I do check your social media. You are out everywhere here in the Coachella Valley. You are everywhere. How much time do you spend with people?
You know, that's an interesting question. I spend whatever time they'll give me. And what I mean by that specifically, you know, I was in Anza the other day, a couple weeks ago, and a resident said, hey, can you come talk to me? So I went to their house, and we sat on the front porch, and we were there for an hour and a half talking about some of the issues. And they said, no one, by the way, and this is a Democrat, they said, no one has ever, Democrat or Republican, no matter what office, has come to my house and just sat there and listened. So thank you for that. So that's what we're supposed to do. That's the job. So I go out there and take the time that's needed.
All right. You're one of the books. Thank you, Assemblyman.
Thank you. We'll be back again and to keep people updated.
Look forward to it.
The Riddler checks in when we come back.
Hey, riddle me this. I can be seen in water, but I never get wet. What am I?
How do we know what's going on unless you tell us?
You can tell us anything.
Even your deepest, darkest secrets. We like those.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Thanks for watching the Best of the Rogan.
can be seen in water, but I never get wet. What am I? You should be able to get this one. A reflection.
Thanks for watching the Best of the Rogan Report. Have a great weekend, and Fred returns on Monday. Wheel of Fortune is up next.